They did it again. WWE just buried one of the most beloved wrestlers on the roster, and I'm sick of staying quiet about it. What happened to Kairi Sane last night on Raw wasn't just a loss, it was a calculated destruction of everything she's fought to rebuild since returning to WWE. And if you're not furious about how this match went down, you haven't been paying attention to the pattern. Hit that like button right now if you're tired of seeing your favorites treated like disposable props, and subscribe because someone needs to call out this madness. Io Sky defeated Kairi Sane on the December 8th episode of Monday Night Raw, and on the surface, that sentence sounds simple enough. Two former tag team partners, two incredible athletes, one winner, one loser. But dig deeper into what actually happened in that ring, and you'll see why this result represents everything wrong with WWE's booking philosophy in 2025. This wasn't just about one match, this was about systematic character assassination, wasted potential, and a company that continues to make the same mistakes over and over again. Let's start with the match itself because the in-ring action was phenomenal. Both women delivered exactly what you'd expect from two of the best female wrestlers on the planet. Kairi Sane came out with fire in her eyes, and you could feel the intensity from the opening bell. The crowd was electric, chanting for both competitors, and the chemistry between these two was undeniable. They've wrestled each other countless times in Japan, they know each other's movesets inside and out, and that familiarity translated into a beautifully crafted match that had the audience on their feet. The storytelling early on was masterful. Kairi targeted Io's arm, working it over with precision, setting up for the devastating elbow drop that has ended so many matches throughout her career. Every strike looked brutal, every submission hold looked agonizing, and you genuinely believed that Kairi had a game plan to win. Io sold the arm injury like her limb was about to fall off, and that psychology made every counter, every reversal feel earned and important. This is what wrestling is supposed to look like, and if you're not subscribing to this channel for more breakdowns like this, what are you even doing? But here's where things start to fall apart from a booking perspective. Despite Kairi's dominance for large portions of the match, despite her offense looking more devastating, despite the crowd being firmly in her corner, WWE Creative decided that Io Sky needed this win more. And why? What does this victory accomplish for Io that she didn't already have? She's a former women's champion. She's been positioned as one of the top stars in the division for months. She has credibility to spare. Meanwhile, Kairi has been spinning her wheels since returning, getting occasional wins but never building any real momentum toward a championship opportunity or meaningful storyline. The finish came when Io hit her moonsault after a brutal back-and-forth sequence that left both women exhausted. It was a clean finish, no interference, no shenanigans, just one wrestler beating another. And that's supposed to make it okay, right? That's supposed to make us feel better about watching Kairi Sane lose again on television despite being one of the most over wrestlers in the company? I don't think so, and if you agree, smash the like button and let me know in the comments. Here's the reality that WWE doesn't want to acknowledge: Kairi Sane is more over with the audience than Io Sky. That's not a knock on Io, she's incredibly talented and has earned her spot, but the crowd reactions don't lie. When Kairi's music hits, the building erupts. When she does her signature elbow drop, fans lose their minds. She has that intangible connection with the audience that you simply cannot manufacture, and WWE is wasting it by refusing to pull the trigger on her as a serious championship contender. Think about the narrative arc here. Kairi returned to WWE with so much fanfare, so much excitement, and what has she accomplished? A few tag team victories, some mid-card matches that lead nowhere, and now a high-profile loss to her former partner on Raw. Where's the progression? Where's the character development? Where's the payoff for fans who have been waiting to see her reach the heights she deserves? It doesn't exist because WWE Creative has no long-term plan for her beyond being a popular wrestler who can work great matches and lose them when it's convenient for someone else's story. And let's talk about Io Sky's booking for a moment because she's not being served well by this either. Yes, she won the match, but what did she win exactly? She beat someone who's been booked as her equal at best, someone who hasn't been positioned as a legitimate threat to the championship picture. This victory doesn't elevate Io because there were no real stakes attached to it. It was just another win on her record, another good match that will be forgotten by next week because there's no compelling reason for it to matter long-term. Both women deserved better than this directionless collision that serves nobody's interests. The crowd reaction after the match told you everything you need to know. There was applause for the effort, appreciation for the athleticism, but you could feel the deflation in the arena when Io's hand was raised. People wanted Kairi to win. They were ready to explode if she got the victory. and WWE denied them that moment for reasons that make absolutely no sense unless you understand that creative has already decided who their chosen ones are, and Kairi Sane apparently isn't one of them despite having every tool necessary to be a top star. Make sure you're subscribed because I'm going to keep exposing these booking disasters, and your support helps this channel grow and puts pressure on WWE to do better. What makes this even more frustrating is the timing. We're heading into the Royal Rumble season, the road to WrestleMania is about to begin, and this was the perfect opportunity to give Kairi momentum heading into the most important time of year. Imagine if she had won this match, then cut a promo about entering the Royal Rumble, about finally getting her shot at championship glory, about proving that she's not just a feel-good story but a legitimate main event talent. That would have meant something. That would have given fans a reason to invest in her journey. Instead, we got another loss that keeps her exactly where she's been since returning, treading water while other wrestlers pass her by. The technical execution of the match was flawless, don't get me wrong. Both women are world-class performers, and they delivered a contest that will probably get lost in the shuffle of everything else happening in WWE but deserve to be remembered. The near falls were believable, the transitions were smooth, and there wasn't a wasted moment in the entire match. From a pure wrestling perspective, this was everything you'd want. But wrestling isn't just about moves and counters, it's about stories, it's about making people care, and this match failed to deliver on that front because the outcome benefited neither competitor in any meaningful way. Kairi's selling throughout the match was exceptional, by the way. When Io worked over her back to set up the moonsault, you felt every bit of that pain. When she made her comebacks, they felt earned and explosive. She's a master at making you believe in everything she does, which is why it's such a crime that WWE won't give her the ball and let her run with it. How many times do we have to watch wrestlers who have IT, who connect with audiences, who can work at the highest level, get passed over for reasons that have nothing to do with talent or popularity? Comment below and tell me if you think Kairi Sane deserves a championship match, because I want to hear from you. The post-match was equally disappointing because there was no real follow-up, no indication of where either woman goes from here. Io celebrated her victory, Kairi looked dejected, and that was it. No angle was advanced, no rivalry was intensified, no new direction was established. It was just a match that happened, produced a winner and loser, and then everyone moved on to the next segment. That's not how you build stars, that's not how you create compelling television, and that's not how you give fans a reason to tune in week after week. This match also highlights a bigger problem with how WWE books its women's division in 2025. There are so many talented women on the roster, but creative seems incapable of juggling more than 2 or 3 storylines at once. If you're not directly involved in the championship picture or a featured angle, you're basically treading water until they need you for something. Kairi Sane is too talented, too over, and too valuable to be stuck in this purgatory, yet here we are watching it happen in real time while fans get increasingly frustrated. And before anyone says, just be patient, her time will come, let me remind you that time is not unlimited in professional wrestling. Careers are short, windows of opportunity close fast, and momentum is everything. Kairi is incredible right now, the fans love her right now, and WWE should be capitalizing on that right now instead of making her wait for some hypothetical future push that might never materialize. We've seen this story too many times before with too many wrestlers who never got their moment because creative waited too long or lost interest or moved on to the next shiny object. If you've watched this far, you're exactly the kind of fan this channel is for, so hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. The match quality itself deserves recognition though, and I don't want my criticism of the booking to overshadow what both women accomplished in that ring. These are two of the absolute best female wrestlers in the world, and they proved it once again on Monday Night Raw. Every sequence was crisp, every move had impact, and they told a compelling story within the confines of the match itself. This is the kind of wrestling that reminds you why you fell in love with WWE in the first place, which makes the creative failures surrounding it even more painful to witness. Looking ahead, what happens next for both competitors? Io Sky presumably continues her path toward another championship opportunity, though exactly when and against whom remains unclear. Kairi Sane will likely continue having great matches that don't lead anywhere significant unless creative has a sudden change of heart. And fans will continue to wonder why WWE seems so determined to ignore what's right in front of them, a wrestler who has everything needed to be a major star if they would just commit to pushing her properly. The December 8th edition of Raw gave us an excellent match between two phenomenal wrestlers, but it also gave us another example of WWE's inability to maximize the potential of their roster. Io Sky winning wasn't wrong necessarily, but it wasn't right either because it didn't serve a greater purpose or advance anyone's story in a meaningful way. And Kairi Sane losing, clean in the middle of the ring, to someone she should be positioned as equal to or above based on crowd reaction and in-ring ability, represents a missed opportunity that should frustrate everyone who cares about good wrestling booking. Comment below with your thoughts on this match, like this video if you're tired of seeing talented wrestlers being wasted, share it with other WWE fans who need to see this breakdown, and subscribe to WWE Reporter because we're not afraid to tell the truth about what's happening in professional wrestling today. WWE can do better, these wrestlers deserve better, and we as fans deserve better than watching the same booking mistakes repeated week after week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.